Yes, people, what's happening, and welcome to another episode of Royalty Talks Boxing, proudly supported by Evolve Boxing Gym in Amersham, Hunters Weatherby, and Forrestal and Sons. As you can see, this week's episode, I'm joined by professional trainer, one of the best, I believe, and good friend Will. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very good, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. It's been a stressful week trying to get everything done before Christmas. But yeah, we're going on we're going into the new year strong, so can't complain with mate.
Yeah, the Christmas rush is always a killer, isn't it? We
It's
have a
hard.
very stressful gym, very stressful partner, and a baby. But the baby's been alright.
And a first Christmas as a family as well.
First Christmas as a family in our new place, so it's good times at the minute.
How is young Willow? Is she all right?
Good. You can sort of half see her when we're going here. There she is.
Oh, look.
The camera shot. She loves a cuddle with her dad. She was feeding about an hour. Got kicking off and stuff. So
And
yeah,
how is that? Obviously, with training and obviously, having a baby, and obviously, I know you've got Melissa who's brilliant as well.
this at first the sleeping was hard, but she sleeps through now, and it's the best thing that's ever happened in my life. I've never had so much drive to do well. Melissa's amazing, an amazing mum. Uh, does everything. She's phenomenal and has taken to it so well. For someone who I don't know, like I don't think me and Melissa thought we were going to have kids until we got to, and then like this time last year. Is it this time last year we found out? And that was the best moment of my life. But then having Willow's been the best moment of my life, and now we're having our first Christmas, and it's just the best feeling ever. It really is.
I remember when you obviously I see it on Instagram earlier. Actually, it was on a Christmas card when you found out.
Yeah. So I will. What was it? You gave me. She gave me a box last year, a little Christmas box. I think it was like a pre-Christmas present, and I opened it. I went, "Oh, for fuck's sake, you got COVID." I thought it was a COVID. No, it's a pregnancy test, babe. And I think we started sobbing, didn't we? Both started crying, and then yeah, but the best thing ever, best thing in the
Oh,
world.
bless you both. Obviously I'll come down next year, and I hope to meet young Willow. But is there going to be more? How many more do you want?
I don't know if Melissa had her way, we'd have a small army, I reckon. But we're taking it as we go. But she's enough work at the minute.
That's what I was going
Them
to say.
in the gym are like babies. They're like my kids as well.
But I obviously see you're in the gym. Obviously, I see on your Instagram like 6 o'clock in the morning. How was that at the start? Getting used to obviously the sleepless nights and then being up probably 2-3 hours later. How was that?
Luckily enough, Melissa done a lot of the feeds, but then um, very very lucky for that. But then Willow's like the 5 o'clock alarm that I need to get in the gym early as well. So it works quite well. Now she sleeps really well. She has a late bottle. She'll sleep through to like 9 o'clock in the morning. She sleeps really well. So we're very very lucky. It'll
Wish I
only
could sleep
something starts kicking off again now.
like that. So it's parenting talks boxing for the first couple of minutes this week. But let's get on to the big thing, mate. Obviously, Will, I know you had a big unlicensed career. So let's
Yeah.
go right back to the start of the Will Jones story. How did you start boxing, mate? What got you into it?
So I was kickboxing first. I done loads of amateur kickboxing bouts, a few pro as well, K1 as well. Um, and then when I went into personal training and I needed a local studio or like a local base, and I spoke to a friend of mine, Adam Hart, um, who put me in touch with Jamie Williams, and they got me to run there. We used to call it the Shed, Legends RM11, the Shed at Park Lane. For how small it was, I'd say it was probably the ring was 12 by 12, and it was probably, well, I'd say a 20-foot gym. It weren't big at all, but we'd fit everyone in it, and it'd be the best buzz in that gym. It was a little shed behind the barbers, and it was we'd fill it up, and no one would leave unhappy. It was a good buzz. Um, And then that I started doing. I come away from kickboxing and started boxing with Jamie, unlicensed. I had 16 unlicensed. I'm sure I had 16 to 18. I think I only lost one. Done all right. I half blagged the unlicensed. I made it up as I went along. Really, like I sort of like Jamie taught me everything I know in boxing, but 90% of the time I didn't listen, had my hands down, just trying to slip punches and get cheeky shots off. I think I'm probably the only boxer on earth that's wore leggings in a fight. That was from my
Leggings?
kickboxing days. I used to like professional leggings. Yeah, I wore them in a boxing match. The weirdest outfit ever. I used to help corner everyone else to fight last on the show. So I'd corner everyone else on the show and have my hands wrapped already, be ready to go out. It's a maddest experience. But then, from the love of cornering, I went on and decided to start coaching. Enjoyed that more and more. Really got a lot of experience coaching my friend Christian Wharton. He had untied kickboxing, done very well unlicensed. If he was 10 years younger, you could have turned him over and he would have been a good heavyweight. But yeah, learnt a lot with them. Learnt a lot with all the Legends boys. And then just went on from there. Like as an for someone who done unlicensed boxing, we went and sparred so many pros ourselves as well. Like I've been sparred Chisora, I've sparred Joyce, I've sparred Dillian White, Dave Allen. Went to spar the bar. That's an interesting story. Went down to spar down at the bar with my mate, Future William Hamilton, and we're sitting there, and Daniel DeBar's already in the ring, and we're watching him spar this guy I know from the circuit, really, really tough kickboxer, monster of a guy. And Daniel's put him down. And then me and William look at each other. We're getting ready while we're watching the spar. We look at each other and they're like, right, oh, we need the next person in. And like, we've got, well, your hands are wrapped mine, ain't. So I've got up. And then, but luckily enough, I think Daniel hurt his hand just before. Just on that last exchange, hurt his hand. So they went, oh, you can spar someone else. I've never been so relieved in my life. But yeah, just listen. I've got in and inspired anyone I've learned on the game, and then just fell in love with coaching myself.
But you talk about some of the names you sparred off. They're world level fighters, but obviously I've been down Pug and I've seen Derek. And like I said the other week when I spoke to Oscar, I shit myself. He's like a walking fruit machine. And he looked me in the eyes and I felt like everything I'd eaten for the last week had fallen through me. I've seen him spar Johnny Fisher. Who was your hardest spar? Who did you get out of there and think that guy's going to be, if they weren't already, is going to go to the top?
I'd say the scariest spar is Chisora. Like, so the whole spar, you think he's got an issue with you personally as well. Like, he treats the spar real personally. By the end of the spar, he's like, I'm standing there like thinking, oh, is something going to go off outside the ring here? And he went, oh, that was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. And I was like, oh, thanks. It's like, one who unbelievable, Joe, unbelievable. Joe Joyce, you could hit him with a sledgehammer and he'd just keep walking at you. It was crazy. I caught him with a lovely shot. Johnny Fisher will replay this story as well. When we went up there to Sparrow, caught him with a lovely overhand right. I'm not a puncher anyway, but I was like probably the best overhand right I've ever thrown in my boxing life. Looked up, Joe Joyce just went, took it off and walked me down. And I've just gone to my coach, get Johnny Fisher in next because he's going to kill me. And then they did. They switched him up, and Johnny didn't. But them spars there helped Johnny become the fighter he is today. Like he was always.
I've heard Joe Joyce has got like the 3 times the average bone density of any man. I don't know how true that is.
I'd say 10 times. He's an absolute monster. Like
Joe, on him quickly. How far do you think? Because I personally think he's the hardest fight out there for Tyson Fury. What do you think of Joe Joyce?
Completely agree. I think someone like Joe Joyce. The trick with Joe Joyce, and we was there when he fought Dan. We was in the hotel and that with him, and I had Hamza on the show when I was coaching. But the thing with Joe Joyce, he half makes you like you stick to a game plan, but your game plan goes out the window because it seems to not be working. Like, and it's just like, have you ever had that dream where most blokes have it really? you're punching someone who's not doing nothing. Like, you're just like, what the hell? I can't hurt no one. It's a bit like, that's what he does. He'll take you out of your comfort zone and make you overwork yourself. That's what I feel we did with Parker. Did the first few rounds of Parker. Parker looked amazing, and then the tide turned, but Joe Joyce doesn't. Momentum doesn't go. It gets better for him. Like, it doesn't have it probably start on 1, and then by the end of the fight it gets to 10. You know what I'm saying? He's unbelievable, and I think he's the biggest problem out there.
Yeah, I agree. I think, stylistically, he doesn't look great, but he just walks forward, standing straight, and he just throws. And I think, I'm a big AJ fan, but I think he is like you said, he's a huge problem for anybody because you can't hurt him. He's never been hurt.
Terminator 2, where Schwarzenegger's chasing John Connor, and he just keeps going. It's like that. That's exactly what it's like. It's the biggest reference I can find for that. Like, he just does not stop coming forward.
I look forward. He's obviously, it's hard to see who he's going to fight next, but let's talk about. So you said you had 16 to 18 unlicensed fights. Was there ever in your mind, I want to turn pro, or did anything stop that happening?
I had little injuries all the time. Like, if I wanted to turn pro, I had to commit a lot more. Few injuries. Like, I got a bicep tear from sparring with Andrew Tate, kickboxing. A little tape on my arm, and bicep. Didn't realise till after the spar, but that's always been a bit of an injury, a niggle. And yeah, just it was my commitment. I couldn't commit as much as I should out of respect for professional boxing. If you listen, as a coach now, you've got I preach. If you want to go pro, like, it's a lifestyle. It's not just training this time a couple of days a week. It's a lifestyle. You've got to live the life of professional boxing.
So you sparred Andrew Tate. What was that like?
Andrew Tate. People have seen the video of his spar when he was out in Dubai at Sam Clark's gym. They don't think he can fight, but Sam, what you've got to forget is Tate fights with his hands down. He'll slap a foot round the side of your head before you can blink. Like, he's very, very good. The guy's a 4-time world kickboxing champion for a reason. We've seen him fight live, sparred with him a few times, and he's phenomenal. He's the real deal. Like, and he talks a lot of facts as well. Not many people agree, but he does talk sense. My missus just left the room. That's why I said that.
Comes back in. No. Andrew Tate's a bad man. He talks rubbish. We can't talk about that. Isn't he meant to be fighting Jake Paul? Is it Jake Paul he's fighting?
Yeah. So when we was out in Dubai, they picked that up at the Mayweather and Davies show. But I don't know what happens. Like, whoever backs it, who's going to back it, who's it's all money, isn't it? For that, it's money. Money talks out there. Dubai's an amazing.
I can't. I'll be honest. I can't stand the YouTube boxing. I would not watch it if you put Hatton and Mayweather back in there on YouTube. I just couldn't do it.
But with it, like, I've got a big realization of recently when I was out there with Harley. Harley was a professional fight on a YouTube card, like with the Mayweather and Deji and that. So I think it's good for the sport, as in, like, let's say it's a brand awareness, but don't mix the sports. Don't mix professional boxing, real fighters, with YouTubers, because there could be some crosswires. Because, like, listen, Tommy Fury should have been showing the YouTubers how to do it and then miss weight. Like, this is what it takes to be a professional boxer. You've got to make this weight, you've got to look this good. This is what you've got to do. Instead, he had a exhibition because he missed weight and the guy refused to fight him. You've got to separate it. I think the YouTubers have to fight on their own shows. Professional boxing different, because it makes a professional boxer slack a bit, I feel, because they're part of this circus. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I think there was obviously a lot of stories. To be honest with you, my view on Tommy Fury is I haven't got a view. In my opinion, I do not class him as a professional boxer anymore, because he's got the license and he does it, but he's just embarrassing. He's an embarrassment, I think.
They embarrass themselves a bit out there. He was always with a 13-man entourage of idiots, but it's just stupid. Like, in this way, I feel sorry for that Bamba. I feel sorry for him. He weren't treated fairly, but listen, if you don't want to do it properly, don't do it. Fuck off. Like, let your family, tell your dad to piss off as well. His dad's an annoying knob. Like, like I said it out there, I just think he's just. If my dad, every time I had a bit of an argument with someone and my dad got involved, I'll turn to my dad and go, Dad, let me sort this myself. I like tell him to calm down a bit.
Yeah, 100% agree, mate. So while we're on Dubai, obviously, I know Harley was out there to fight that guy for the WBC, wasn't it the Southern Eastern title or something?
Yeah, so the WBC International Asian title. So, listen, out there is crazy. Out there is mental. They've gone to Harley. Harley done some good bit of marketing for himself out there, kicking off with phasing at the open workout at the weigh-in and kicked off. And then the promoters called us down to the hotel lobby one day and said, listen, we want to try and bump it up to a title. I was sitting there, eyebrows raised, like, what the fuck is going on? Speaking to the manager at the same time, and they've gone up. We'll do a WBC Asia title, and I was like, you've got to be a Dubai resident for that. Mate, a phone call was made. The Harley's a Dubai resident in a matter of seconds. Like, well, can I do that then as well? Then, like, very confusing. But listen, these big money shows, money talks out there. The money they had to do the show was crazy. It's very surreal out there the whole week. Weren't my cup of tea. Listen, I love just pure boxing, like you said. Like, you're not interested in YouTube boxing. I just love pure boxing. Yeah, I have great moments out there. Like, I'm just sharing a room with Mayweather, like in the rooms and that with Roy Jones in our hotel, talking to great people. I caught up with loads of friends while I was out there in the boxing world. It was good, but I just want my boys to fight for titles, like decent titles. I want to push my boys on boxing, bring boys on and girls on, like go through without YouTube boxing. That really.
No, for me, you can't personally beat a night at York Hall. I just love it, mate. I think they're real fights. You know, you look at Jordan's last card back in, I can't remember when it was now. Was it July? No, it wasn't even July, but September.
One emotional night that was.
Oh, brilliant! And we'll come on to obviously speaking about your fighters, but let's talk about. So obviously, I didn't know you did a lot of cornering in the unlicensed scene, but what made you turn around one morning and go, I want to be a professional coach?
You know what? A young boy. It was Sunny and Ohara. So Ohara was training at my gym with Angel Fernandez. Where I've been around the world with my kickboxing and that, overseas and that, I applied myself. I had a foreign license anyway for cornering, but it's just not the same over here. The British Boxing Board are not too fond of it. So I had a foreign license of cornering, so I aided Angel Fernandez for the Jeff Ofori fight with Ohara. But in the end, I went and got my own license. But it was for Sonny Ali, really, my boy Sonny Ali. Sonny was an amazing amateur, cleaning up national titles and then King of the Ring tournaments. Had a bit of time off, being a young kid, enjoyed a bit of life. Got him back in the gym, and then he was my little Sonny. If I'm honest, Sonny was my drive. Like, I want to be a professional coach. If I can help Sonny get back on that now, I'd like to see what I could do with other fighters. We won't. So then after that, O'Hara beat Jeff Ofori, stopped him, and O'Hara and Angel. Well, Angel rang me a couple of days later and went, O'Hara wants to stay with you, Will. And I was like, what? Like, I'm fucking nobody. But me and I really clicked. And we've been together since. And it's worked. It seems to work, me and O'Hara. And that was what O'Hara was drive. O'Hara and Sonny, really, was my drive to do the professional route and really push on it. And listen, I've been a student of it since. I don't claim to know I was a coach. I learn every day. I'm picking brains. Listen, one of my closest friends in boxing is Al Smith and Eddie Lamb. Like, and they're two of the best coaches. You've gave me a great comment, said I'm a great up and coming coach, but there's two of the best coaches in the country there, and like, you're learning great off them. I talked to Shane McGuigan quite a bit. Them, my old coach Jamie Williams, Adam Hart. Like, you learn off everyone you meet. Al Wilkie, I have in the corner with me for cuts. Like, I'll tell him he's my little cut man. Like, you might as well walk up to me as a joke. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for him because he's taught me so much in the game already himself. So, like, you're forever learning as a coach, and if you don't admit it, then you're ignorant.
Well, you obviously in the short time that you've been doing it now, you've established quite a bit. But with coaching, there comes highs and lows. So obviously, let's talk about your hardest thing. What is the hardest thing about being a coach?
Hardest thing about being a coach is not everyone has the same mentality as you. So, and you've got to treat each fighter as an individual. You can't. It ain't a team. It ain't a team thing. They're individuals. They come in and train sometimes as a team, but they've all got their own mindset. They've all got their own different needs. They've all got their own different styles. So the hardest thing is adaptation. I'd say adapting to each fighter alone. You can't make every fighter fight your style. You can't make every fighter do what you want them to do all the time because some people just don't have that style. But that's when you have to better yourself and adapt to them.
Yeah, that's fair. And then obviously on the back of that, not a negative thing, but what's been the hardest moment for you as a coach? I'm talking one of your fighters' fights or anything like that. One night you've got home and you thought after a fight that was fucking tough.
Um, that's a good question. That
And I don't think there's been a lot of that for you so far, has there?
I've had one loss, and that's Kate Radomska. Just a hard fight with Gemma, but
Gemma Ruig, yeah.
just a learning curve for Kate that was. But the hardest time, I'd say, you know what? One of the hardest nights was out in Kazakhstan with Ronnie Clark with Zoltan Zerbeck, and that was that whole week was hard. Let me tell you that Kazakhstan, what a beautiful country, unbelievable. Like the amateur background there, phenomenal. Scariest country I've ever been to. I've never walked down the road and been told not to go down, not to go any further. You're not welcome down there. So I make a U-turn and go back. And while I run up on my life, what was on out there? While I was out there, I think it might have been the Euros. I think I run up. I thought I put like the mobile add-on on your phone.
Mm.
I put it on, got accepted it, done it while I was on the plane, landed at Turkey for the changeover, got accepted it, thought sweet, use my phone every day. On my life, I'll screenshot you it. An £11,000 phone bill.
11
On my
grand?
£11,000 phone bill on my life, but I had to plea with O2. O2, listen, big up O2.
Yeah.
They said, listen, it was an error at our end. Like, we didn't tell you that it worked in Turkey, but it doesn't work in Kazakhstan. Yeah, the Bolt one you get. And they took it. I was very, very fortunate.
You'll have to stick the logo on your shirt.
I was like, oh, 11 grand, I've got to go somewhere.
Get paid for the corner, but they'll have to be, mate. Next, I want to see Jordan on February with the O2 logo on there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag 11K.
Yeah, it was, but that, yeah. And Ronnie Clark's fight out there, it was tough. Everything was against us. Ronnie Clark, I've been training him for only 4 weeks. What a great guy and great fighter Ronnie Clark is. Really good guy. And listen, I've given Zoltan Zubek an half fight. Got caught a bit in the last round. Give Zoltan Zubek an half fight. And we had a good time out there. Kazakhstan's an amazing country.
You've been out there recently as well, haven't you? I know Jordan fought out there and you had that lad that won the title out there.
Yeah, I've been out there 4 times now. So I had, after that, made good friends with the promoters out there and some managers. And they sent some fighters over to me, Talgat Shaiken and Ray Janatov. We went back with them after a camp. I took Jordan got his second pro fight out, got a good stoppage win. A big step for Jordan. That was a big risk, but listen, Lee Eaton, Lee Eaton's been a good friend of mine for a long time, and he trusts me, my decisions and that. I said, listen, let's roll the dice and take Jordan out there. We did it, and Jordan got a good KO win. Ray got a KO win, and my boy Tal won a youth world title. And the third time out there, Tal got a successful defence, and Ray won a youth world title as well. So it was good. They were very good boys, very very good boys. Tal got striking. I had him in with Catterall for the build up for the Taylor fight. I had him with Conor Ben, Adam is in, and he's more than held his own in every one of them spars. He's a phenomenal fighter. He is one to look out for. He'll come off the set, come in the scene like Yannick and Golovkin, like the tail end of their careers. Hopefully you hear about Tao a little bit earlier than you hear about them. Do you know what I mean? It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember with the Cattrall Taylor, you actually said to me, I'm sure you did. You predicted Cattrall to beat Taylor, didn't you?
Yeah, I did because we was up there. We was up there quite a lot with Jamie Moore and Nigel, and the game plan they had was so clever and so spot on. And we were talking. Me and Tal would talk about it because Jamie Moore would have stayed up there for a few nights, and we'd talk about it. And I just thought, God, they're gonna get them there. And sadly, like a week after that, we'd done a few spars there. Ben had gone, oh, do you want to come and spar as the Taylor? And I'm like, oh, mate, we're already up for Cattrall. It's such a shame because it would have been good to get both, but you don't want to sort of like, oh, yeah, we're sparring both of them and stir the pot. Do you know what I mean? So just stick to one side. But yeah,
I think that's the worst decision I've ever seen in boxing so far.
Yeah, I do. It was a bad decision, but at the same time, you've got to, when you beat a champion on their home ground, you've really got to rip that title from them. So
yeah, I suppose so.
So I think it will try and stop them. I think. I see Cattrall winning that again.
You see him winning again?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I know Taylor's big at the weight, but let's now talk about a positive. I think I know the answer to this already, but your proudest moment as a trainer where it could be either you're nervous in the build up and then it pays off. I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say, but what was the best moment where you went to bed that night and thought, we fucking done it?
Well, I'll give you a top three, right? So, number Jordan Perkins. Listen, no one thought Jordan was going to beat Ryan Walker. No one thought he was going to beat him. No one gave Jordan. Listen, when I first got Jordan, a lot of people said, "Listen, well, don't waste your time." Like a lot of people said, "Listen, he's all right, good amateur, but don't have to do it as a pro." Because I wanted to see if that Jordan was my perfect test to myself to see if I could make some changes and do something with him. And Jordan's the perfect example of what a pro boxer should be. And beating Ryan Walker that night. Listen, was you there that night? Yeah.
Yes.
That's right hand Jordan through. I thought, oh my god, I thought he was going to be done. Like, but
first round.
Listen to me. That whole fight, we had a round off when we needed to because I knew the fight would be long. Ryan's done these rounds before, so I said, Jordan, listen, let's save some energy from last rounds, get a good finish. He done everything I asked. Like Al Wilkie and Chris Wotton, who was in the corner with me that night, complimented me of how Jordan does the tie up and then looks to me for information straight away. Like it was good. It was really good. That's definitely number one. Number two is Ohara McKenna, 100% golden contract final. Not odds against the Ohara, but it wasn't exactly flavour of the month. And we got the win. It was a big fight for Ohara, so got the win. But I think what beats them both though is, listen, I've got a very good bond with Sonny Ali. I love him like he's my son. And his debut, his music come on. So we got a debut quickly in just before we went to Dubai with Ohara. I took Sonny out with us, and Sonny was going to debut on Frank Warren when we got back. But just before he debuted on another show, his music come on, and my bottom lip went. I nearly cried because and I was like, "This is it. We're doing it. We're doing it." I was so proud of him. He boxed unbelievable. Like his manager come over, Andy Allen came over and went, "I didn't think he was that good." Yeah, I've been saying like he's special, Sonny.
What's Sonny fights at lightweight, doesn't he?
Super light. But we're looking now like so. I believe he's comfortable with good light, but to get that bit of strength, Sonny's getting his man strength now. He's getting thickening out a bit. I think Sonny will go to welterweight, and I reckon by the end of the career, he'll be a super welter.
Yeah, he's quite tall as well, isn't he? He's not small. He's not like a what is he? 5'10", 5'11"?
Sonny is 6'2".
Is he really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm 6'6", so I look down on everyone. So forgive me for that one. So let's stay on. Let's talk about your fighters now. So obviously, let's just stay on with Sonny. Obviously, look, he's signed with Frank Warren. He's got a great platform. I want to talk about the last fight because obviously you spoke about it on Instagram. You wanted to pull him in the change room. You didn't want him to fight.
Yeah, so during the build up of this camp, Sonny's had a bit of a niggling back injury, like every now and then just a big ache. So I thought it'd be growing pains myself. We had a little look at the woman who'd been treating him, went like, listen, I can treat you as much as possible up until the fight. But after the fight, you need it really looked at because like, I'm a bit concerned. I don't think it's growing pains. I think it's going to be something else. So we got to the fight. We're at the O2. We've done best preparation we can for Sonny at the O2. Sonny's gone to the toilet. And I'm like, you all right, mate? Good knock to the door. You all right? And he's like a bit quiet. And he's come out. And listen, so he probably won't like me saying, but he had tears in his eyes. I was like, you all right? He went, my back's gone. He went, my back's gone. I was like, what do you mean? He went, no, it's gone. My back is done. I went, right, well, no worries. We'll pull you out. We'll do another day. He went, no. He went, I'm never going to get a chance to fight the O2 again. I went, oh, son, don't worry about that. You ain't got to do nothing for no one else. Just worry about yourself. He went, no, let's do it. So we went through the warm up, warmed up all right. Literally hobbled to the entrance. As soon as his music come on, autopilot. And I personally, it's very cliche, but I personally think he's the best he's boxed. That guy didn't land a punch on him, and he just done. Everyone's like, "Oh, Sonny needed a second win, that second phase in that fight." He couldn't physically rotate properly. So it was just half step pick, doing little shots. He listened to me, like it was like playing Street Fighter because he was listening to everything I was saying. He listened like bit by bit, and it just showed like he had a slip disc. That's what it's come to now. It's a slip disc, and it showed how strong and how good Sonny is when he wants to be because he was so focused. My corner was a bit different, and I was a bit more complimentary than I normally am, like just to keep Sonny's mind at ease. You know what I mean? Rather than panic. I don't want Sonny thinking, right, you've got to do this. I was like, right, that's brilliant. Let's keep it as that. Why don't we try this? So, and it really worked. And Sonny was superb. He really showed his level. Like I'll send you the fight personally, and you'll be very impressed. Someone with a slip disc boxing like he did.
A slip disc ain't like a backache or a twinge. That's but your back's fucked. People don't walk with slip disc.
Literally after we went, he had the medical check and everything. Done a few interviews. By the time we finished the interviews, I'm walking into people to talk to him to thank him because he's in absolute. He didn't stay at the venue long. He went home. He was in agony.
Yeah. So what's next for him?
Men now we're going to talk like listen. Like with all my fighters, Sonny, we want to go like southern area route. I want to do that with Sonny, especially building up the boys. They need to learn like that. There's no point jumping in deep end straight away. I know we took the leap with Jordan, but we started with Jordan at the bottom southern area first. Do you know what I mean? We want to do that, build him up. So Sonny would be for southern area, maybe one more fight and see what we do. But first things first, get recovery and make sure that back's all right. Everyone's told us that all the advice we've got is very treatable. It can be fixed. So Sonny will be back, I'd say, April time.
Well, hopefully, obviously, I'll be down January. I doubt I'll see him, but we wish him all the best. So let's stay en route. So with Jordan, obviously, current southern area bantamweight champion. Huge fight coming up. Massive fight with Rams. What's your thoughts on that?
I spoke to Barry Smith tonight, and Barry talked quite a bit, and we've gutted because they're good sparring partners. These two bring the best out of each other in sparring. They have some like pay-per-view spars. But listen, it's business. There's no bad blood at all. They both know what they want to do. They both want to achieve. It's going to be such a great fight. It is really going to be a great fight. Everyone, the minute that fight got announced, I got phone calls and messages straight away. What a fight that is! So it's going to be one to watch. I think I'm very confident in Jordan. Listen, like they should be very confident in Ramirez. Both are great fighters. I think we know what we've got to do to get that fight.
I spoke to Jordan. I actually messaged you, didn't I? And Jordan said, like, huge fight. And I was like, what is it, mate? And he just told me straight away. I never expected it. And I messaged you and said, Jordan's fight. And then you said, oh, has he told you? And I went, no. And you obviously knew he had. Yeah. I spoke to Ramez the other day. He put the picture up of the fight. And I just said, mate, great fight. I wish you all the best.
Yeah.
And he just said, there weren't a bad word. He just said, mate, it's just a fight. He went, that's all it is. And You've got to respect Jordan for taking it, because obviously, look, Rams has boxed at a higher level. He's boxed some great opponents. You know, he boxed Chris O'Rourke on Chris Bourke. Sorry, it's a big fight.
Right, and it is another big step up for Jordan. But like I keep saying, he's the most professional in my gym, and he lives and breathes boxing. Jordan, no, he's dieted before Christmas so he can have a good Christmas dinner to get back onto his diet. So he's that onto it. He's an absolute pleasure to train.
So obviously, after Jordan's fight, I spoke to you, and there was rumours: does he start bantamweight and defend, or does he start bantamweight and move on, or does he go back down to Southern area Superfly and go for the Southern area? Was you like with the decision to stay at bantamweight and move on, or?
I'd like to, so this fight's the bantamweight for bantamweight. I'd like to just continue this route. Jordan seems very strong at this weight. His punching power is there. Like I've always known he's got a bit of punching power, but we've only seen it in the Kazakhstan fight. And it sits there. So that extra bit he has to cut off probably drains him ever so slightly. Do you know what I mean? So I think this fight's good for him.
Yeah, I think I actually said it either to you or to Jack on the night he beat Ryan. Obviously, I'd seen him in the gym and seen him spar Jack when he was fighting at Superfly.
Yeah.
And then when he come out that first round against Ryan and fucking whacked straight on the chin, I thought, Jesus Christ. I thought, that's that extra, whatever it is in kilos. I don't know the pounds and whatever it is. That's that extra.
That's it. It's the same. Like, look at Hamza Shiraz since he's been up in weight. Like, he's just killing everyone he lands on. Hamza's like, he was fighting a super welter, and now he's gone to middle. And it's the same thing with Jordan. Jordan's going to sit at that weight now. He's going to carry that power and hold it well. And he'll listen. Jordan will go as far as he wants to, as far as he's determined. If he keeps the same mindset, you'll see Jordan on the big screens. I 100% believe it.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he wins, if he beats Rams, I think it'll be a lot sooner than we all would predict at this moment in time, I believe. But talking of a fighter that is has been on a few big screens and has he's roughed feathers. He's been thrown under the bus. You know, every time he's interviewed, he likes to talk about Eddie Hearn's Four Wheels and the bus. And I remember watching an interview with Umar that he done, and you were in the background. And you said, "Why are you saying that, Oscar? Don't bite. You know, this, that, and the other." The man that is probably, what's the right word to say it? He's misjudged by every person in boxing, unless people like you know him. We are talking about Ohara Davies. What's it like having him in the gym?
Ohara's when the camera comes, he's an arsehole. I'll be honest. He knows how to get the camera. He knows how to get the people talking. But he's got one of the best hearts in the gym. Me and Melissa, we see him as family. We've had him round. We've had him with Willow. The minute Willow was born, I'll go, Ohara, come and see her. Do you know what I mean? So, but Ohara is one of the most, still, I believe, still so underrated. So underrated. And I've said it since I've had him. I'm going to make Ohara a world champion. I really do believe it, and I stand strong with it. Like, listen, he talks shit, and he's got much to talk shit. They did throw him under a bus. Like, I won't go right. Yeah, he was left hung out to dry, and he's had a rough life. Listen, let's just say he's not the most fan friendly, is he? Like, hasn't got the biggest fan base. People will pay. I'd say more people will pay to see him lose than win. But you can't knock the guy. Like, the 2 step ups he's had, I feel like he's robbed against Catterall, and I feel like he didn't have the right mindset for the Taylor. Now, how about this? So interesting story. Before the McKenna fight, we knocked on his door next morning. I went, "You all right?" I was just a little bit tired, just on the night of the fight. Well, what's up? He went, "Oh, set up, just replay." I watched mine and Josh Taylor fight about 4 times. I was like, "What?" I was like, "What has he done to his head?" I was like, "He's just mashed himself." But he said, "I needed to see it. It's the first time I've watched it. I needed to see it." He went, "That was me, and I'm not like that." And he said that'll never happen again. And like, I was proved his worth. Like, I think he's not had a fair crack at the whip. Like, I feel like he should have had a title fight by now, but because of the space in the fights that he's had, and it just made them a little bit irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's currently busier. So once he's like that, once we get busy, so I think 2023 will be a very busy year for him. Once we are like that, he'll show his best, and I guarantee by the end of 2023, I'll have a world title belt around his waist.
I hope he does, mate. But starting the year with Ohara, obviously there's rumours. I don't know if you can confirm or deny Ohara versus Lewis Ritson. Are they true, or can you not say?
Versus Lewis Ritson, 25th of February. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Without saying too much, no, I'll say it. I think Ritson's made for someone like Ritson's made for. I think Ohara stops him.
So what weight is that going to be at, him versus Ritson? Lightweight. Okay. Well, look, I'd love to come down. Obviously, like I keep saying, I will be down, and obviously I'll see him in camp. I'll probably walk out and say I don't like Ohara.
Yeah. No, listen, you'll come out of the gym with a different mindset on him. Everyone who's come in the gym from like a boxing background or another gym or boxing social guys have been down. I felt like, God, what a good guy. He's actually a different person.
Yeah, Mark Little speaks highly of him as well. Mark Little, obviously, who used to train down the gym, he said about how he is. He's completely different, and I look forward to it. You see that with a lot of fighters, though. You know, I walk in a lot of gyms and like I speak to fighters and I do their merch and I say, like, I'm going to come down and see you, and they're all like just on Instagram, yeah, YH, no, NA, and then you see them and they're the loveliest person in the world. So I look forward to it. But another pro, Bilal Ali.
Yes.
Been out a couple of times in the last few months. How's he going?
So Bilal come to me. He was with Tundi in the yard and the yard stable. I know their family well because I had Hamza and Umar. So we've always been good friends because we finished amicably. Like so, Bilal's uncle come to me and said, "Look, would you take him on?" I said 100%. I like Bilal. Every time I spoke to him, he's been a nice lad. Listen, Bilal's got, without being disrespectful, I feel like Bilal was in that camp to support Anthony more than to train himself. You understand what I mean? Like, so Tundi's a great coach. Tundi says some mad things. People slate Tundi for a lot, but let's get the guy has got some serious boxing knowledge. He's been in the deep end. I've heard lots of stories from Ohara and Anthony themselves about Tundi, and he's a knowledgeable guy, but the system that he works doesn't work on everyone. You know what I'm saying? So I think for Bilal, we've had to strip him all the way back again and then just start from the beginning and see what we can do. So Bilal is back to basics. Bilal is working the jab, the base, working everything again, rotate your hips, like a little bit of drive, keep your hands high, really, really starting again. And I rate Bilal. Bilal's good. For someone who's had very little amateur experience, he's done very well. He got his shock loss, but I just feel like, because I feel like he's very undertrained. I don't think he was trained and coached and taught as much as he should have been being in that stable. I feel like he was sort of left to the side. So I would like to cheer on Anthony. Do you know what I'm saying?
He sells a shitload of tickets as well, doesn't he? And when we was there for the Jordan undercard, you know, you could feel that he felt the pressure, not the pressure, but he must have done 200 tickets that night, and they were all literally stood ringside. I felt so sorry for him in the sense of he was new to you, and then he had all them people there, and he's trying to show off the technique and the tricks.
Yeah, he done well because we put him straight into a 6-rounder. And listen, after the fight, he boxed very well. He boxed very aggressive that fight. And after the fight, I had so many pats on the back, I thought I was being jumped. Like, just all these people just come out and saying, well done. I didn't know because they were Bilal's boys. They were very complimentary. He does sell a ticket. He's liked by a lot of people, and Bilal will do well. I believe Bilal will pick up a few belts.
Yeah, I wish him all the best. So the next one, Thomas Galbraith. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about this guy. I've heard a lot of good things about him, and he's new to your gym as well, isn't he?
Yeah, Thomas hasn't had a fight under me yet, but he's joined my stable recently, and we're working on things with him. Very, very, very tall. He's going to be fighting at super welter. Mate, listen, I could get down. Don't want to take away power. Thomas is huge, and he's a good puncher, very good body puncher. Got a bit of like I'm working a bit of sort of like Callum Smith sort of work with him. You know what I mean? Like big long range catch hook, drop to the body. He's good, Thomas, very good. With a bit of focus, bit of drive, bit of discipline with me, could go far.
Yeah, I believe I spoke to him a few times, and I look forward to seeing him grow under you. Kevin Revel, have I said that right? Revel.
Ravel, yeah. Let me just reply to her. She's in Tesco's now. Kevin Ravel is Kevin Ravel's a little dark horse because I think Kevin's brilliant. And we're putting him in if it's right. He's going to be in a very exciting turnout in March, and it will put him in driving seat for a southern area. And I really do believe Kevin will really show experience. Well, remember, Kevin has unlicensed fought Ty Mitchell and gave Ty Mitchell a very good fight after a tournament. Have a little watch of that on YouTube. He can really fight Kevin. He just had, I just direction. He just needs direction. He just needs to be. It needs to be someone to go. No, Kev, you're doing this. Don't be slacking. Like some of them just need an arm around them, or a bit of a bollocking, a bit of reality check. The best thing you can do in boxing, I feel, is tell someone the truth.
Yeah.
Don't blow smoke. They don't earn it because they're not going to get nowhere, and you're not going to get nowhere with them. You just always got to be
What's
truthful
the
as a coach.
record, Kevin?
Kevin's 7-1, 6-1.
And what weight does he fight at?
He's going to be welter.
Welter. Well, I think that's the most exciting division in boxing, welterweight.
Yeah.
I'd rather fucking get punched by a heavyweight than a welterweight, I think. Jesus Christ. Imagine that Terence Crawford coming down you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So then you've got Jarrell, another professional you've got in your gym.
Yeah, so Barry Smith ran me 4 months ago. He said, Will, I've had this boy come down and train with me. He's very good. He's holding his own with the McCormacks, Dickinson. He's phenomenal. He spars Congo quite a lot. But Will, we just ain't got the time to be able to help him. We can't do evenings as much. We ain't got the time to help him. Would you be able to do something with him? I said, yeah, bring him down. Car is unbelievable. He's absolutely unbelievable. What the real deal. He's got this like Derek James stable style to him, like sits on the back foot, pops that jab. He fights on the inside, very strong, big puncher. Ohara loves him as a sparring partner. Ohara loves a hard spar, and Drill gives him that, and he loves him as a sparring partner. He really does. And Drill's just joined Let's Go Management, turnover now, so it's going to be very exciting what we can do with Drill. I'm very, very excited what we can do. He's very good talent.
Yeah, I've seen him on your Instagram. They get a lot of stuff. I just can't wait to come down and meet them all. And then an ABA champion turning over this year, Tom Welland.
Yeah, Tom Welland. Tom had a bit of heartbreak back in, let's say, August. Done the GB trials. I like me saying, but I had Tom in tears in my office at the gym because he didn't make it. And I believe he didn't make it purely on style. Tom will tear away your ribs like a fat kid at a carvery. You know what I mean? He will just tear away. He's such a good puncher. Just chop away. Yeah, it's like elusive AVA, like pop the jab back foot. He ain't like that. He just hunt you, corner you, and destroy you. And it broke his heart. But since then, he's won every amateur tournament he's been in. Scored everyone his fault. And he's going to turn over soon, and we're just looking at the right route to take for him, and he will. I guarantee Tom will go all the way. I absolutely guarantee it.
I look forward to seeing him. And another one you've got, Cameron Briggs. Now, he's another one I've heard a lot about. Very good amateur. He's got the look. Even when we was at York Hall, you said to me, you said to him, we was doing, you said, I hope you ain't meeting no girls tonight after this and stuff like that. He's got the look. He seems disciplined. He looks to me like he could go quite far.
Beautiful boxer I've ever seen. He's unbelievable. He's a marketing dream, Cameron, I think, and he can really fight. I've had him in some really good spars. Took him down to spar Robbie Davies with him. Had him mixing with Dennis. Ohara spars. My stable all similar weights, so they all spar quite well together. So it's always good rounds. And listen, Cameron's got a good future. Listen, he keeps learning. Work a bit more on setup. He's got the power there, setting up the work more. He could do very well, I believe. Hello, bud.
Well, mate, your stable's obviously growing from where it's come. It's ever growing. My last question for you, I think I know the answer to this one and all. This time next year, we sit here and we do this podcast. Who is going to be a world champion at this time next year that isn't one now?
As in, people in my stable or thing?
In British boxing.
British boxing.
Excluding Ohara.
Oh, what way?
Anyway, any British boxer, female, male, they could be English, Southern area, British, European. They haven't had a world title, but they will end 2023 with a world title.
I believe Caroline Dubois.
Yeah.
100%. Maybe not this early, but I believe Dalton Smith is on his way to a world title. I believe he's very good. Joyce, obviously. Definitely go Joyce. I can't think. It's a good question now. Only British, yeah?
Yeah, I would say British.
Yeah.
Jack Catterall?
Yeah, Catterall, definitely. Listen, the crop of British fighters is really coming through. It's going to be... we've got some talent coming through. And now there's promotions coming on all formats of television and apps and that. So there's places to see them and places for people to push on with their career. Look at old Happy Nuts. Look, they're both. But yeah, so listen, Caroline 100% is going to be a world champion by the end of next year. Caroline Dubois. I don't believe Daniel will.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
That last bit. Trying to think. Good question.
What about Ellie Scottney?
Yes. Yeah, I love Ellie. I think she's very, very good. Very
think she beats both. I think she could go to bantamweight and batter both Bridges and Courtney as well.
Yeah. I think her hardest fight at that weight would probably be Nina. Nina Hughes. Yeah, I think she outboxes them. Nina just for a pure work rate and non-stop coming forward. Nina's starting to really box. And listen, would you a woman to win a world title at the beginning of the year? No, I don't think many people would.
Well, you think after she boxed Tyson, that was... I thought it was really close. I thought it could have gone either way, and I think that the refereeing at times was a bit questionable, but she's a world champion now. She beat Jamie Mitchell, battered Jamie Mitchell, didn't she? She didn't just beat her, she fucking smashed her around the ring.
I think she's turned her career around in such a short space of time. She's doing great.
It's good as what you got to do. You look at Jordan, you've got to take risks. If you're willing to go to the top, you take them risks and they will pay off, 100%.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Listen, if you truly believe in what they can do, and it's more for them to believe in themselves as well. Once they do, there's no end to what they can do.
Yeah, I 100% agree, mate. 100% agree. Yeah. Is there anyone, obviously, that you want to thank before we end? Any sponsors, anything like that?
Yeah, I would like to thank Empire Pro Tape Empire Pro Tape and Empire Fight Store for back in the gym. They've recently become a gym sponsor. What's it called? Low Construction and Design, Nashtel Construction, and Flat Finishes for supporting the gym as always. And listen, all my family and Mum Melissa. If Melissa had her way, I'd be at home. But she supports me in all the boxes, all the shows, and looks after. Look what I've got. Listen, give it 10 15 years. Willow will be starting boxing. Get a future world champion here, babe? No,
Would you, when Willow's old enough, would you be happy if she turned around to you and said, "Dad, I want to be a boxer"?
I would be. I'll be over the moon. Obviously, that'd be our little thing. But I want Willow to be a singer and sell some albums and make her dad some money. To be fair,
You'd still be in the gym even if she was a millionaire.
I'll put the music booth in the gym.
Have her singing Ohara through the spas. How about that one, Willow?
Okay.
Right, mate, brilliant. Thank you. Honestly, we speak a lot, and it's good to get your story. I know how committed you are to the sport, so I wanted to get you on and hear everything. So, mate, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time, mate.
No worries, guys. And listen, thank you for everyone to watching another episode of Royalty Talks Boxing. And until next time, we shall see you soon.